Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure.
See, I've been waiting. Waiting on that time. Feel me if you've been waiting on yours. That moment, it's close. It's close. It's close.
Yeah. Tired of living day to day like everything's alright. Just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment. Waiting on my moment. Tired of living day to day like everything's alright. Every night just one thing on my mind. I'm just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment. You say, oh, you got that all shit? Hell no, next time that's mine. As long as I stay hustling, I'm gon' shine. Just waiting on that moment. Waiting on my moment.
Today. The first two are Michigan and Creighton. Now, on the surface, these two teams have nothing really alike. One's in the Big Ten, one is a mid-major, but they have two of the best offenses in the country and two of the best players. Michigan has Trey Burke, Creighton has Doug McDermott. Both could win the National Player of the Year. The reason you might not want to pick them to get all the way to the Final Four is their defense. They have two pretty mediocre defenses for top-notch teams, and we've seen in the past that defense is a really big key to get to Atlanta. The next team is Virginia Commonwealth, a mid-major, Cinderella, total darling of everyone who watches basketball. They made it to the Final Four in 2011. They play this havoc defense, which is a full-court press, and really just inflict misery whoever they're playing. The problem is that when they don't force steals or turn the other team over, their defense isn't that great and lets up a lot of points. When they play better teams in the tournament that might be able to protect the ball, they might not be able to force those steals and their defense could suffer. The next two teams are teams that are probably going to be on the top two lines of the tournament. One is Gonzaga, the other is Miami. Gonzaga is the #1 team in the country right now, could be a #1 seed for the first time ever, but they've never made it to a Final Four under Mark Few, and no one knows if this is the year or not. The other one is Miami. Miami is one of the oldest teams in the country. 6 of their 7 rotation players are above the age of 21, which is a total rarity in college basketball these days. The one problem is that no one on their roster has ever played in the NCAA Tournament. Another team to watch out for is UCLA. UCLA brought in one of the best recruiting classes in the country last year, highlighted by a kid named Shabazz Muhammad. They're still really young, but they seem to be getting it together. The problem is no one knows what that will mean in the tournament and how their up and down season will play out once we get to March. NC State is another team that's an enigma because of its really high-class talent. They have as much talent as anybody in the country. They made a run in the NCAA tournament last year. They've mostly disappointed after being picked to win the ACC this season, but whether they can recapture that March magic, it could happen, it could not happen. The last team we want to focus on is Georgetown, which is in the running for a #1 seed again. They have maybe the player of the year in a kid named Otto Porter, and they have one of the best defense in the country. The problem is they play a Princeton offense that really slows things down and isn't as efficient as a lot of other offenses in the country.